Good evening, good evening, good evening. As we wait for others to join us, we just want to welcome you to our final Pre-Legacy Symposium workshop. This is our seventh workshop. We usually have these workshops leading into the actual symposium. And for those who don't know and should know, our in-person event will be Saturday at Sheridan College. That's March 21st, and we start at 9 a.m. and we go on to 6. So these symposium covers areas that we're not able to cover on that day at the symposium, but it's still aligned with our theme, building wealth through by leveraging AI. So we just want to welcome everyone that's here in the space, and we appreciate you, we value you, and we're looking forward to seeing you in person at the symposium. As we proceed, for those who have not gotten a chance to register or would like to attend, we're doing it both. We're doing the symposium hybrid, right, Ryan? We have a hybrid aspect to it. So if you're not able to attend, we will provide the information. We have all your information, so we will provide that information to you shortly. Thanks again for joining, and we will just give 2 more minutes and then turn it over to Ryan to introduce our guest speaker. And guess what? I forgot I did not even introduce myself. I'm so sorry. For those who don't know me, I'm Charmaine Hussey. I'm the operations manager at ACBN. Thank you. We still have persons joining. Good evening. For those who are just joining, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We'll start in another 2 minutes. Ryan, just let me just check if you have host, and we'll also give Adrelle. So let me just check. Oh, Ryan, your host. Can you give Adrelle co-host? Thanks.
Yeah, I gave him sharing abilities, so we should be good.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. Again, thank you everyone for being able to join us this evening. I am super excited because if you are lagging behind and not building AI agents, you're in the right place. We talk so much about AI and how much advancements it takes, like weeks for it to exponentially move away from us. So we definitely have to keep ahead or keep up with it. And so I heard this gentleman speak at an event and he talked about if we're only using ChatGPT and if we're only using Gemini or Claude, we're way behind. We need to start thinking about building AI agents. And as you know, I run a podcast some Friday nights, The Night Owl, and we dabble in different AI tools and still haven't been able to figure out AI agents. So I was really encouraged that Adrelle was able to make time to come and speak to us. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. So we work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in and help you grow your companies exponentially. And we do that through, of course, info sessions, networking events, but we also run our microloan program. We have a marketing and sales agency, a social enterprise, and we do our signature event every year that Charmaine was talking about, the Legacy Symposium and building wealth by leveraging AI. So the timing is perfect for us to learn more about what AI agents are, how we can actually incorporate them into our businesses, and what better to have than a representative from Salesforce who has built Agentforce. So if you haven't heard of Agentforce, I heard about it for the first time just a few weeks ago, so I'm looking forward to learn. But I do want to just find out the temperature of our AI, how much we've engaged with AI. So if you can put into the chat between 1 to 5, how much you feel you're using AI. So a 1, if you're totally skeptical, not touching it, AI is going to turn into Terminator 2 Judgment Day and take over, and we have to battle the machines in the future. Or 5, you fully integrated AI tools into your business every day. You're using something new. So if you can put into the chat between 1 to 5, how much you are using AI. Hold on, let me also, where did they go? A 2.5. Thank you for that. I feel like I'm at a 4. I'll say 4. Oh, I sent that to Charmaine. Sorry, Charmaine. Let me see some threes, 3.5. Okay, okay. A 4, okay. I appreciate that. Good to see you, Yusuf. Let's see, a 2. All right, we can definitely, hey, if it can help us make more money, we have to figure out how to integrate it. So I'll pass over the floor to Adrelle. Adrelle is a representative from Salesforce. He'll give a bit of his background and his bio, but I do want to say thank you for taking time because our pre-legacy symposiums really lead up to the main event. But along the way, we want to learn as much of the tools that we can be using for our business. So I'm looking forward to learn. So hold on, I think I might have got kicked out just for a sec. But yeah, so I am seeing some engagement. So we're nobody's a 1, so nobody feels like we have to totally ignore AI. We definitely should engage in some way. And so, yes, Adrelle, if you want to check if your sharing is okay, and I'll give you the floor so that you can kind of walk us through what Agentforce is, why it's important, and then hopefully we'll have some time for a Q&A.
Excellent, excellent. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yes, you're
can.
coming through good.
Yes, go
Uh,
ahead.
awesome. And you can see my screen as well. All right,
Yes,
perfect.
all good.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for Ryan for inviting me. Sorry for being late. I'm coming off of a work call and I have I'm actually at another event right now, but I had to make time for this. Ryan asked me to come, and of course, if Ryan says something, we have to say yes. So that's the rule. Well, thank you guys. And I want to speak about AI and AI agents. But to be fair, I am going to go a little bit broad and not so much specifically on Agentforce. So I'll give a little introduction of myself. I don't have it in the slides, but I'll just talk to you guys. Um, and could you remind me again, Ryan, the audience here, is it mostly college, university students or high school or?
No, I would say business owners, typically our audience is between 35 to 55.
Okay,
Businesses operating
business.
maybe less than
Okay,
5 years. Yeah.
even better. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So awesome. This is probably a bit more tailored to you. I'm going to Uh, I can talk about Agent Force a lot, but I'm going to talk about agents kind of a bit broadly. And if you have any questions, you guys let me know. Um, this slide deck is tailored a little bit more to a younger audience. Sorry about that, but it doesn't matter. I'm kind of speaking about AI and AI agents from a first principles standpoint. So my name is Adrelle Lewis. I am a IT program manager at Salesforce. I've been there for about 4 years, 4.5 years. And if you guys know anything about Salesforce, if you're following the news, and sorry if you hear any noise in my background, I'm just at another event. But if you've been following the news, Salesforce was kind of caught off balance when the AI wave started to come. And we had a product called Einstein, which was like an AI tool that we sold, and you've had that for many years. But when ChatGPT came out, which is really the AI explosion, and when all these different products started to come out, I would say Salesforce was caught off balance, I would say. And they made a major pivot for the past 5 years or so to pivot fully into AI, large language models, and mainly agents. And so we're going to go through this a little bit. I do have something interactive for you guys to do. I thought it would be a little fun, cool thing to do, which is if you can take a screenshot of this or take a picture of it and fill out this form. What it is, it's just asks two questions. It asks for your email address. You can put in whatever email address that you would like to use, and it asks for a topic, like a research topic that you're interested in. And what I'm going to do afterwards, if I have time, I'll show you. I'm going to build an agent for you that's going to give you weekly, periodic research, like current research information based on whatever topic you put into this form. So it's going to be your own little research intern agent, AI agent that's going to be doing that for you. So take a picture of that or a screenshot and fill out that form. But the AI wave really it didn't come out of nowhere, but oh, sorry, I'll leave it here for another minute. The
Yeah,
AI
and I was
wave
able
didn't
to
really.
put it into the chat. So
Oh, thank you
share.
so much, Ryan. Thank you. It didn't come out of nowhere, but it's really taken over by storm. And um, me being in Salesforce, working on the Agentforce product, um, and Agentforce really is like what the whole company is steering towards. Salesforce, if you don't know, is a multinational enterprise software company. We have 80,000 employees. I think we now do about 60 billion in revenue per year. So it's a pretty large company. You may have heard of products like Slack or maybe Tableau or MuleSoft. All those are owned by Salesforce. A lot of times we may not, the products are sold to enterprise companies like Disney or AT&T, those large companies, large, medium size, small. So sometimes we don't use it as like consumers, but businesses use our products a lot. So it's very good for the audience here. And so the 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 main goal of agents and this AI trend is actually moving away from large language models to agents. So many of you, I'm sure, use ChatGPT or Gemini or all the other ones. There's a lot out there, Claude, and uh, all the other large language models are out there. I'm sure you guys use them, but that is already kind of the past. We've already passed that. Large language models are like, I don't know, dial-up internet or something. Um, they're already in the past. AI is moving that fast. The future or the current is agents, and the future is going to be like orchestration, which I'll talk a little bit more about as well. But right now, large language models are great because you can ask it to write you a sales pitch. Hey, I want to sell this product. You put it into ChatGPT and it'll write you an awesome sales pitch, and you can send that to your clients. Or you can ask for market research and it can provide you market research. But what it isn't is it, but the next level that I want to share with you guys and what Salesforce is really focused on, and there's many other tools out there as well, is actually having digital employees. Like a digital agent is really like an employee, someone working for you. That is the overall goal for Agentforce, the project that Salesforce is working on, which is digitizing the workforce. Now, it's a little terrifying because that does mean what are the humans going to do when we have all these digital employees? And there's a lot of philosophical thoughts about that, and we can always talk about, I can talk about that forever, but um, there are a lot of tasks that humans do that we're digitizing a lot. Like I'm kind of on the forefront of this, and it surprises me. Uh, almost every day, I'm being surprised. AI is kind of a recursive technology where it can learn um, the more you use it, and it kind of learns on top of itself. And so because of that, the rate of improvement is on like a logarithmic scale, right? Like it's like a goes straight up to the right. And so things are improving so quickly and it's learning so fast. The one thing that you guys have that many humans have, a lot of entrepreneurs and business people have, is like ingenuity, the ability to innovate, the ability to invent. AI can't do that, at least not yet. AI can't do that. But in terms of, for example, some of the work I do a lot of like budgeting and reporting and tracking progress for some of these programs and these projects that we have at Salesforce. And AI can do that like very easily right now. So it's a little crazy, but it's exciting. And we can't fight against it. It's coming. It's already here. We have to learn to adopt it. So the question is, what if you had a digital assistant that can work for you 24/7, never gets tired, does this all the time, helps you to make money, helps you to, I put study in there, sorry, but it could be research or market research, helps to build your brand. Um, how would that help your business? And maybe not just one digital assistant, but two, maybe not just two, but 200, maybe not just 200, but 2,000. Well, these are the type of scaling abilities that can happen with agents. So, yeah, I'll go quickly on some of these things. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this information. So interrupt me if you want to or ask a question. Ryan, keep an eye on the chat. I don't have that. I may not be looking at the chat, but um, feel free to interrupt me or raise your hand or just put something into if I'm being a little too basic in this call right now. I can go much deeper if you want me to. But it's reshaping every job, every school, every industry. It's very good at logical tasks. That's why the first thing that AI pretty much conquered is coding, because coding is very logic based. It's like if-then statements and stuff like that. So coding is super logical, and because of that, it was very easy for AI and agents to manage that work. But other things like accounting, like it's very good at math. So any of that type of accounting work, it can do very well. Um, Marketing is a bit of an art and a science, right? Because while it can develop images for you and stuff like that, when you're trying to market to someone, a customer for a new business, you have to really pull out that business value and be able to present that business value in a way that your market segment is going to be able to consume and that's going to speak to them. So it's a bit of an art and a science. So AI is not great at developing. It can develop like a marketing plan, but in terms of developing like marketing products to send out to a lot of people, it needs a human being to really direct it for that type of work. But it's getting there. Uh, but any other type of hardcore logical, planning, scheduling, reporting, accounting, lawyers, coding, um, that type of work, it's really good at. Um, okay, and you know what? While I did say, LLMs are in the past. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. We're still very early. We're still extremely early. Most of the world is not using AI and AI agents to its fullest capacity. We're still sending out our own emails, for example. None of you guys should be sending out your own emails. You guys should have an agent that does that for you, that understands you so well. Because you can build an agent. I'm kind of going off on the topic for a second though, but you can build like a digital version of yours. Sorry, say
It's
that
a more
again?
don't do
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed.
No worries. I think just unmuted. It's all good.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Yeah, you can kind of build a digital self, like or a digital, almost like a digital copy of yourself. What I mean by that is you can teach the agent a lot about yourself and how you are, so it can respond to an email like how you would respond to an email. How you do that is you have it look through every single email you've ever written, right? And that might be hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, who knows? And it learns the way you speak, it learns the way you respond, and then you can also continue to teach it, as it's doing work for you. So okay, I might be going a little hyperbole when I say every single email should not be responded by you, but at least some, you should
Yeah,
have
I was
agents doing it.
curious your thoughts on the comfort level you've seen with people allowing AI to actively respond. Like, do you feel it's only at a draft stage where it can read, understand, see what to say, draft it, and we check it? Or are people confident where it can actually respond and send?
Yeah, I'll say people are not very confident.
Ah.
They're scared that AI is going to make a mistake or something. So usually, what you're saying, Ryan, it is what happens. There's like a human in the loop, right? It will get 90% there, and then it will prompt the human, like, "Can you review this email? I'm about to send it out," and then the human just reviews the email. So you're right. Most people are not confident in the AI to not make any mistakes, and it's true that sometimes the AI hallucinates or it makes a bit of a mistake. Um, but the crazy thing about it is, as you keep improving it, or let's say it made an email and the email was really great, it just messed up a couple of words, and you tell the AI, okay, you know, that's wrong or change that, it won't make that mistake again the second time. You know, so imagine like having an employee that has perfect memory, that remembers everything perfectly, that once you teach it something, it remembers it forever. These AI agents, it's pretty insane. But yeah, but you're right. Most of the time for these type of things, you have a human in the loop who is reviewing what the AI is doing, what the agent's doing. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so be an early adopter is a point I'm trying to make. Don't be afraid of it. Keep using it. There's ways you can guard yourself to make sure that these agents don't go crazy, but uh use it to your benefit. So what is an AI agent? We've kind of spoke about that a little bit. It's like a digital employee. You program it. It's not so much you program it once. You do program it once and you continue to improve on the agents, and then it continues to get better and works for you. Uh, it should, it uses AI to understand goals, context, what needs to happen next. It takes action, it learns and improves, and it runs nonstop. So for if anyone who would like to purchase Agentforce, you can let me know. What I would have to do is understand your workflow very well. So that is one part that you guys as business owners and entrepreneurs would have to take some time to think about. What is my workflow? Let's say if I'm thinking about um, revenue and accounting and debts and budgets, whatever. Like, is it, what's the first thing I do? Okay, I look at uh my bank account. I see the funds, the amount of money that is coming in. I look at the cost that I have to pay. That, like maybe I had some revenue coming in and I know how much is profit. I know how much it was actually um something I have to pay down or a cost that I need to pay. And then I make sure I take care of my costs. I put my revenue, I put my profit in this other account or whatever, and I do all my budgeting. I make sure I pay all my employees. I make sure I pay all my bills, and you can think of the different steps that you do. Um, and that was just maybe thinking about accounting, but you can think of all the different steps you do when it comes to customer service. When someone comes to you and says, "Hey, your product didn't work," or "Hey, I have a question about your service." What's the first thing you do? Okay, I go and I read the email. Like I need to be detailed. So the very first thing is you open up the email or you answer the phone, whatever. You read it, you figure out what the problem is, you respond, you send back an email, whatever. And I take the workflow that you have and then I feed that into the AI. but the AI already has like a base knowledge. The AI is already like an LLM. You know, like an LLM just basically is taught on all information that exists on the internet is kind of fed into like a chat GPT, I'm saying. Like I said, and ask me questions or raise your hands if I'm not, if you need more clarity. But it already has like a lot of base knowledge. So it can already understand quite a bit. It just doesn't understand your personal workflow. Now that it's getting your personal workflow, then it can work on doing some of those tasks for you. And as it's doing those tasks for you, you're kind of telling it, training it, saying, okay, that was good, that was bad. Don't do it like this next time. Don't do it like that next time. It really is like kind of training an employee. And but it learns very quickly. And a lot of the times, if you just give it access to, I know this is going to sound scary, but it's almost like if you guys remember, some of us will remember it was scary to put our credit card on the internet. I don't know if you guys remember that, right? It was scary to just to type in our credit card number into some website. I don't know where that goes. And now we do it all the time. Now it's no big deal. So giving the AI access to like your bank account, for example, your business bank account I'm talking about, giving AI access to all of your QuickBooks or whatever tool you use for accounting and tax and the type of things, giving AI access to your email accounts, giving AI access to your Excel sheets, that will help it learn 100 times faster. Um, and so it's a little scary because it's like, what's this AI going to do? But really, it's just looking through all of your data and it's learning it. Now, okay, okay. I'll stop there. Are there any like critical questions, Ryan? Let me know if I'm missing anything or you want me to keep going.
Nothing came in the chat. I know
Okay.
conversations about the comfort level people have. Some have the emails drafting. The bank account is definitely. I saw. I felt anxiety through the Zoom screen of people like, "Yo, this thing in my bank. I don't know." Even
Deep.
I maybe that was just me. I was like, I don't know if I can give it my bank account. But I was curious. I don't, you might be already gonna touch on this, but the types of agents that you see businesses start with? Like, what is a best first agent? And yeah, that was kind of where my mind, the question I had.
For sure, because I definitely want to make the presentation relevant for you guys. Number one is customer service, by far. We get requests for customer service way more than anything else. And so they already you may call, I don't know, Bell or Rogers or something like that, and it's already automated, right? It's like half of the call. You're like, let me just speak to a human being. Like, this is terrible. I don't want to speak to this robot, right? So what we're trying to do with these customer service agents is make it as if like almost as good as a human being, right? And that's kind of the goal. And we've gotten pretty like really close. There's been times where people have had full conversations with customer service and doesn't know that you're actually speaking to an AI. It's gotten that crazy. But a lot of times, so that's kind of telephone customer service, but a lot of times people are just looking for information online and saying, hey, like how do I return this product? Or how do I this is not working properly? How do I ensure that who do I contact, whatever? And so they're just looking for that information on your website. And maybe there's a chat bot, or maybe there is um, maybe the agent oftentimes can even we're at the level where the agent is like observing. So it's observing what's happening, what everyone is doing on the website or the app, for example. And if it's seeing that this person is struggling or they're trying to figure something out, it will prompt the human. It will put a prompt and say, "Hey, I noticed that you're having a problem here. Do you need any help?" And then they'll put up like a chat box and then you type in there. So a lot of that customer service type of work is definitely number one. Number two, well, coding too. Sorry, number one is tied with coding and customer service. So a lot of coding agents for sure. That's number one. That's number one A, one B. Number two, I would say we hear a lot for is well, we do get a lot of. I mentioned like the accounting and the budgeting and numbers crunching, like number crunching, almost like not fully like an account. Yeah, kind of like accounting, but also budgeting, and um, like tracking spend and tracking how much revenue, tracking your profit, tracking your spend. A lot of the agents to help with that work as well. And I'll just say one more, maybe the top three. Let me think. Another good one that's used, oh, maybe assistance, like helping with my scheduling, help me with my responding to emails, helping with some of the like the initial market research, um, like a lot like assistance, but also that help with a lot of like researching or maybe even the initial um, prospecting, like when you're trying to get a sale, maybe the first thing you do at the sales funnel is you just do some prospecting to see what type of clients are out there. That first level of the sales funnel, I see a lot of agents are there to get that first touch for the customer. Further down the sales funnel, we see less and less and less agents. Um, but that is somewhere that is one place where there's a lot of investment because the first company that wins like a very good sales agent is going to make a lot of money. But we're not there yet for sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. I did see an interesting question come in. So, for a customer service agent, does it always work off your website, or have you seen it be able to work off a LinkedIn company account?
A LinkedIn company account. So you mean like um, off of a LinkedIn page, or what do you mean by
Yeah,
LinkedIn company
maybe
account? Sorry.
Garth, are you talking about being able to access like a LinkedIn profile, like work in LinkedIn? He says yes.
Yeah, that would be hard because
Mhm.
oh, okay, well, an AI can read the internet, so it can just go on your LinkedIn page and see what's going on, but it'll be hard to integrate with LinkedIn, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
Michelle
LinkedIn,
said LinkedIn's very strict with third parties.
there you go. There you go.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
LinkedIn has an opportunity to build their own agent or to buy Salesforce. So
Ah, okay, right,
for
right.
example, like I don't know if any of you guys, Salesforce is big in the States. So I don't know if any of you guys have gone to Disney or has bought any type of Disney product or anything like that. All that behind the scenes is all Salesforce. So like any type of customer service you've ever gotten from Disney is all agents from Agentforce, really or AT&T as well. Those are our big companies. We have some in Canada. I should know. A lot of my projects are American. Sorry, but I should know the Canadian ones too. But for LinkedIn, they would either they could be one of our customers. I don't know. We have a lot, but they would probably have their own. Uh, you'd probably have their own AI agent, or you could train a agent to kind of look at the sites and to do something for you by looking at the site. But if it's a third party tool, it might be tough. Okay, all right, let me move on. Okay, so I kind of spoke about this a little bit, ChatGPT versus agents. So like a ChatGPT is like an LLM, which is great. It's a large language model. It has all the data. You give it a question and it responds to you very well, but it can't really do something for you. You take that data and then you do something with it, right? So it can write the proposal or the investment proposal. It can help you put the deck together, the pitch deck for you're going to go and do a presentation for investors. But it can't um well, I guess that might be a bad example because you'll never have an agent actually pitch for you. But maybe a better example is like it can write the sales pitch like you want to, but it won't send out the sales pitch via email or send out something via social media or Slack or WhatsApp or something like that. The agent can do the kind of the next step of writing something for you, also sending it out for you when it gets a response, seeing what the response is, letting you know what the response is. Um, it can kind of do the step after that. I mean, the example that a lot of people are using just for their own personal life, and actually my wife was just using it the other day, is for vacations. So um, the first, I would say a LLM, you ask the LLM, I want to do a vacation somewhere tropical. Here's my budget. Here's when I want to leave. Give me some options, and it'll give you options. But the agent, you say, book me a trip to a place that has white sandy beaches, that has great food, that is tropical, that has in great weather, and book it for this price. Don't go over this budget, and whatever. And it has awesome mangoes, and then it will go well, and it will go to Expedia, it will go to whatever Air Canada, and it can actually book the whole thing for you. Now, obviously, you would have to give it access to your credit card and those type of things, but you could also just say, prompt me when you're gonna spend any type of money, and then it will just prompt you, say, hey, here's what I have. Can I spend it for you? And you just click yes or whatever. So the agent can actually do that for you. So that exists right now, and people often do it. My wife just did it for a she booked a travel through an agent. So the agent can kind of just can just do more for you. But you think about your daily tasks and your jobs and in your what you're doing for your business, they're all workflows. They're all like they can all be broken down into steps, into like a process flow, right? So a process flow is like, okay, I do this first. If this happens, then I do that. If I get a no, I do that, right? Like these, everyone's job can be broken down into process flows. All those process flows could be fed into an agent, and an agent can do that for you. All right, let me keep going. Oh, so I just gave a couple of examples below. There's Agentforce, which is the company that I work for, Salesforce. Um, if you want to, um, sure, if you want to know more about that or get a sales pitch, you let me know. I'm not a seller, so I would hand you over to our sales team, but the sales team would do very similar to what I'm saying. They would ask more about what's your day-to-day work, what's your day-to-day
Right.
workflow, what do you want to turn, like what's something that's like annoying that you have to do every day that you would love for an agent to do, and they would kind of talk to you like that.
Well, and that's something that ACBN we're definitely going to explore. So as we go through that process, we'll keep people in the loop. But I do see a couple good questions again.
Sure.
So I understand you're with a company already. So you did hype up Salesforce and Agentforce, but are there any platform providers? And I do see you mentioned a few, and I'll say those ones that you can suggest to make many different agents that can work cohesively together based on what they've been trained on. So I know you mentioned on the slide here Claude Cowork, Devin, and Make.com. And I think Dwayne in the chat also said he built a email drafter responder with Make.com. So would these be the main ones to start with, like other than Agentforce, if you're thinking of agents, or are there any other ones that you can recommend?
Yeah, if Cloud Cowork is really good to do work that you're doing. So it's like replacing some of the work that you're doing. Um it's I'm sure it's very good at building agents as well. I haven't really used it as much. Agentforce is trying to build a workforce for you, right? It's trying to give you like 1,000 agents. But also Devin is good at that as well. And Make. So the guy who I know the person on the call, sorry, I forgot the name already, that made the prompting with Make. That's a good one. And that one you can build a lot. You can build a lot of different agents, do a lot of different work, but it's kind of like box process flows. I kind of like that one a lot too,
Right.
because it will say like first if an email comes into my Gmail account, you connect it to a Gmail account. If it comes into my Gmail account with this type of heading, then pull the data into Excel, look at the data that's in Excel, and then pull the data here. So it does all these like automated steps. You create all these different steps, and then that could be an agent for you, and you can create as much as you want. So for one agent, it's looking at all your email. Another agent is taking data from, I don't know, your AWS, or another agent is taking data from your WhatsApp or something. But you have to just connect it to all of your tools, and you can build a lot of agents there. So
Love
and
that.
the Agent Force is
Let's
doing the same thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, another question. People are using maybe ChatGPT or large language models for stock picking. Would an
Mhm.
agent be better at this?
Stocks and stock picking is still a bit of it's a little challenging. I can tell you guys
Right,
a little
right.
a little side story. Um, I built an agent to
Mhm.
actually trade cryptocurrency, like
Okay.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, that
Yes,
type of stuff.
yes.
It did okay. I didn't lose money. It did okay, but it's still not there because right now it's not like I would say stock picking still is kind of like okay, I'll put it let me take a step back.
Mm.
My personal agent that I was trying to do was more for like day trading, right? Now, if you
Oh,
want to do more day trading, that is more sentiment analysis. That is a little bit more of an art. You have to understand fear and greed and what's going on. There's a war in Iran right now. So how does that impact the day-to-day change in the stock? If it's what you're saying, stock picking, which now my brain just clicked, I think agents could be very good at that because that is more value investing for the long term. You got to read all these S1s, you got to read all these quarterly reports, you got to see what's the overall trend. I think an agent could do really well there. I think actually these LLMs that we have today could actually do pretty well there as well. So I wouldn't say an agent could do a lot better than an LLM. Um, so for that, I think LLMs and agents might be a little bit tied. For what I was trying to do, which is like day trading and cryptocurrency, which I know is a little crazy, but that's what I was trying to do with my agent. It didn't, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. I would say it's a little bit too much of a art. It's not so
gotcha.
logical, number based, right? It's more like
Right.
sentiment and feeling based, which it's still struggling at a little bit so far.
Okay. And I did see one more question. Oh, so if you give it access to your banking, can someone hack it and get access to your information? So, any thoughts on, I guess, the security of if an agent has access, can somebody hack the agent?
Yeah, I mean, anything can be hacked. So I'm
Mhm.
not going to stay here that it's impossible. Anything can be hacked. However, when you're working with, it depends who you're working with. Like there's open source projects, right? Like like OpenClaw. I think that's the name now. I changed the name a couple of times. That's the
Right,
biggest,
right.
one of the biggest ones where you can build your own agent. There's no security, there's no trust, there's nothing to save you. Now, I will pitch a little bit Agentforce, but there's other companies. Agentforce isn't the only company, but we have a trust layer. We have like an insurance layer with the product. So we're a massive company.
Ah,
You work with us, we work with massive companies. Obviously, we're going to have um, some insurance there and like some security that will help to limit that. If it does get hacked, then we have insurances for those type of purposes. So can an AI be hacked? It's possible. I'm not trying to say it's impossible, but I'm just trying to say it's okay. You got to think about it. These companies are massive, right? Salesforce is pretty small compared to Google, compared to OpenAI, compared to Claude. Um, well, I would say Claude's probably smarter than us, but and OpenAI might be around the same size, but Google's way bigger, for example. Microsoft is way bigger. So Microsoft, Google, and those guys are highly incentivized to build agents that are not gonna screw things up, right?
right,
The
right.
second that happens, we're all kind of scared about it, but it's
Mhm.
coming, so we can't put a head in the sand. We have to adopt it or else we're going to be left behind. Like that's a real statement. It's like refusing to use the internet or something. I
Gotcha. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's that serious. So they're highly incentivized to make sure that if you connect your banking account to this agent, for example, that it won't get hacked. So because of that, I would say you can. It's like putting your credit card number into Amazon, right? Nobody blinks an eye. Nobody blinks an eye right now, but because we know Amazon's not going to steal our, they're going to protect our data. They're so
Right.
incentivized to. The second that like there's a huge hack and everyone's credit card is used, no one's going to use Amazon anymore. So same thing
Right.
with these big agent companies.
And a quick question that I want to get in just before we continue. Vibe coding has been a thing where you can now build apps, AI kind of builds it for you. Have you seen any vibe coding platforms that help you build agents? I guess you can put in the prompt and it'll help you build an agent. So I don't know if you've seen that.
No good ones. I haven't seen a good one. No.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I've maybe for simple stuff, but not a good one. I find without doing like what I was saying you have to do, looking through your whole process and your
Right.
your kind of your jobs to be done, your workflow. I find agents struggle a little bit. I haven't seen a really good one. That just
Okay.
says like you just type it in and the agent's created. No, I haven't seen a good one yet.
Right. Okay. Appreciate that. You can
Okay,
continue.
sure, yeah. Um, okay, yeah. So what can you do with agents? You can automate a lot of these boring stuff that we work on, and then hopefully that can up level you to work on more innovation, create content faster. So of course, content creation, agents are very good at. What I was trying to say is like an entire marketing plan, it needs to have I still believe it still needs to have a human behind it, because of that type of, and it has to make you feel something, you know? And agents are sometimes aren't that great at it yet. Make money online, so selling digital products, affiliate links, AI generated content, run parts of business like customer support, order tracking, social media. Yeah, social media, I should have mentioned that one a little bit more because we all have a lot of social media accounts, but something that might be a little challenge. Well, first, just right now, probably all of you guys should have tools. And HubSpot is one, and some other tools, and agents can do this too, where you make one piece of content and it's posted on like four different social medias. So agents can do that for sure. But there's also other tools that have been existing for a long time. And it's not really agents that will do that for you. I think HubSpot is one of them. I can't remember the others, where it will you make a type of content and you can post it on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube or something like that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And one that we help promote is actually high level, being able
okay,
to have multiple social media accounts and your content can go across. But like you said, it's great with AI making the content because you can make variations,
that's
which
right.
you usually don't have time to do that on your own if you're trying to do your own content.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. So okay. So let's go down that path a little bit. You're making, like Ryan said, you're making all these variations. But what takes time is understanding which variation, which thing is getting the most impact and most engagement. What's getting the most likes, what's getting the most thumbs up. You can do that, but sometimes, I mean, we all of you guys should have tools that are tracking that. But then you have to actually look at it, consume it. Oh, okay, this video, this post got way more likes than this other one, whatever. But an AI agent could be a social media marketing type of agent where it creates the content, it helps to put out the content, but also tracks the engagement. So now you understand which content is improving, which that's something that we do. I'm just saying the agent can do it for you. And it could help you really understand which content is going viral, what's doing better, what's having higher engagement. So that's a that's a good use case for sure. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so the different agents, content creator, study agent, side hustle, habit tracker. I'll just skip that. I spoke a lot about that already. Um, Social media automation, digital products, freelancing. The key thing is like, um, at least right now. So I'm not trying to be fear and doom when I was saying like agents can do everyone's job. I'm I at least right now agents aren't really going to take over the job, everyone's job in everyone's world. What's going to take over is people who use AI. I think that was a famous saying. Oh, yeah, at the bottom. AI won't replace you, someone using it will. So, same thing with your business. It's not that AI is going to replace your business or take your customers. It's someone using AI will, because they can augment themselves. They can do work when they're sleeping. They can have 10 employees, but that's not really employees, it's just agents. So we got to get good at it. We have to get into the habit of building it. We have to just keep building it, just like anything else. We build the agent, it fails, doesn't do great. We try to improve, it gets a little bit better, it gets a little bit better, but we got to just dive into the deep end and start working on it. Um, like I said, you can work with um, a, a company like Salesforce to do Agentforce, or you can do, I'm sure Google has products, Microsoft has products. Everyone is attacking this agent problem. Like everyone's going for it. So there's a lot of companies out there and we can help you and stuff. But I would also say try to build your own. Use make.com, use Devin, use Claude Cowork, use these type of tools where you can kind of do it on your own and make it on your own, because I think then it trains you a little bit more. It helps you better understand a little bit more so that if you ever do want to purchase and buy one from a large company like Salesforce, you know exactly what you want. Because at the same time, at Salesforce, the agent's only really going to be as good as the inputs that you're giving the agents. So if you're not giving the best inputs, the agent can't do its best work. So by creating your own agent a lot, using those tools, Devin, Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork is number one right now, so I would say try that. Um, Without using those tools, it's going to be a challenge, maybe to use some of the enterprise level tools later on. Okay, I'm running out of time. Okay, how to start today? Three simple steps. Pick a problem, pick your tools, build and test. Simple. We all have different problems in that we're working with in our companies and different things where, man, it takes up a lot of my time. I really wish I had help here. Now an agent can't go walk door to door and sell something. That's not possible. But more logical stuff, more like some of the examples I gave, customer service, coding, accounting, marketing, like digital marketing, more like social media management, I think is a better way of saying that. Those type of examples. I'm sure there's more where you could find answering emails, responding to emails, the type of things where you can really build an agent to help. So pick a problem, start with one, pick a tool. It can be Agentforce if you would like, but you can just start small if you want and start building and start testing. There's a lot of information out there. Don't be afraid. You can start small. It could be a simple agent that can do something very simple. Maybe just, you can put a survey out there and it can gather the responses from the survey for you and I don't know, put it into a presentation for you, something small, and then go from there as you get more comfortable. A lot of data on YouTube about this. There's so much information out there. Okay. Yes, so the future, it belongs to people who build, This is like back in the early, I don't know, 2000s or something when we were creating websites and we were, starting on the internet. And now it's like nothing, it's like internet is such a regular part of our lives, but it's because we were using it all along. So same thing with AI, same thing with agents. Um, we can't let it pass us by. This is a true revolution. Trust me. The stuff that they are building, because I'll tell you, a lot of the companies, pretty much all of them, they have an agent, they have like an AI that they're working on internally, and then they have their external AI. And the external AI is always, or the internal AI is always like one or two generations ahead of the external one. They just don't want to hand it out because they're trying to put the security measures in place and the privacy measures in place and everything else. So I can tell you from internally, these agents are getting really good and they're powerful. So we can definitely use them to our advantage. All right. I think that's it. I think that was my last slide. I know I use up all the time. If there's
Amazing,
any
amazing.
questions,
Yeah, I did
ready to
see a
come
few in the chat.
up into it.
So question about Salesforce, how does it integrate agents into their product line? Like, I don't know if you can give kind of an overview of how Salesforce uses it.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if you guys have used Slack before, if you guys know about Slack. That is like our messaging tool. It's like our internal company messaging tool. It's a competitor to Microsoft Teams, if you've ever heard of Microsoft Teams. So we built a product called Slackbot. And Slackbot is what we use internally as our AI agent for Slack. It looks at all of our messages plus any channel that we're in. We basically work off of Slack, like we're in there all the time. So it looks at all of your channels, it looks at all of your messages you've ever sent. It helps to make like a daily tasks for you. It can complete certain tasks for you. Like when you start Slack, they'll say, "Hey, hello, Adrelle, here's the things that you missed, or here's different tasks that you haven't completed yet," because it's reading all of your Slack messages. And then I can have it do like, hey, there is let's say I'm working on a project and there's a major risk in this project. And I can say, hey, could you put this together into a slide deck for me? Because we have it linked to Google Slides and it can create like a draft slide deck for me. And I can review it and I can do a presentation. So yeah, Slack is the big one. And then we have sales agents as well. We sell sales agents as part of Salesforce, but we use it ourselves. So Salesforce, um, we have a huge seller base, like because we sell the products, but we also sell products for sellers, if you get what I'm saying. So we have this whole thing like Salesforce on Salesforce, right? We have products that we build internally. So our any product that you've ever seen from Salesforce, like Slackbot or our seller agent, we've used internally like for a year before. So
Right.
we have the sales agent, which we've already sold. It's already sold, but before that, for a year, all of our sales guys were using it. So those are some of the big ones that we use internally.
Yeah, I love that. Let me see. What are common mistakes founders make when integrating AI agents into their core product or into their operations?
Yeah, I guess I would say being afraid to give it access to a lot of its stuff, to a lot of your stuff. That's probably one. We mentioned that. Um, Maybe limiting the agent, just thinking it can do some like a small task and not realizing that it can do even really complicated tasks, or complicated step tasks. I would also say not being very clear to the agent on what you want it to do. So you do have to, I would say the first thing you have to do is kind of break down your workflow, break down exactly what you want to do what you want it to do step by step, and then feeding it. You can't just say, okay, hey, whenever someone complains from our customer service, respond and give it an answer. That's not good enough. You have to feed in how you want the agent to respond exactly, but you only got to do it once or twice. It will improve and learn, but you do have to have a good start, like a good first impression, I guess, with the agent. That's probably two places where I see people making mistakes.
Solid. I see a hand up. JSL, did you want to go ahead?
Yes. Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Uh,
evening.
Well,
thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Adrelle. Question I have is that I've been using ChatGPT for, I want to say, a year and a half now. So we are in it, like solidly in ChatGPT. We've used it to help build our SOPs, like everything, right? It's gotten to know me so well that I mean, just reviewing the responses to emails, I try to not put any personal information into chat. So even
yeah.
if I'm, entering in the content of an email, there's no names, no phone numbers, no contact, none of that. It's just the body of the email. And it's gotten really good at responding, very much like myself, so much so that I can almost just about copy paste and send, which is fantastic. I guess wanting to come off of ChatGPT, wean myself off of that platform. I'm already moving over to Claude, but I would love to introduce an agent to maybe even do a lot of this work for me. So, like, how do we make sense of all of what is in chat? It allows you to create these different chats, but I need them all to be organized and all of that data to be kind of consolidated accordingly. So it would like what kind of bot would I use for that task? It's
Sorry, are you saying?
it's not going to be a
uh,
sales bot, right? It's not going to be, would it be like an admin bot that I would be creating for this?
And this is in Claude Cowork, right?
I would probably be using Claude Cowork to
Yeah,
create or make. I've never created a bot yet, so I
no problem. Yeah.
which platform I would go to.
And it's mainly answering emails. Sorry, just want to be sure I'm clear.
It would be helping me to take all of my information, and make sense of it that is in ChatGPT.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, these guys are pretty competitive, so there's no easy way of taking all of that information from ChatGPT and providing it
That's
into Claude just because they want to make it as hard as possible. But because they want you to stay in ChatGPT. But um I I would say there's training. So
Mhm.
there's a way that you can train the bot in Claude Cowork as well. If you Google it, you'll see how to do it. And you basically take all this data that you have and you provide it to the bot in different forms. You can provide it in a Word document, in an Excel sheet, you can provide it in a PowerPoint slide. It'll read it all, a PDF. And this is a bot that is going to be I kind of like more talking about your digital self. Um, I know that's kind of almost a scary thought, but it's kind of like it's someone that knows your working style very well. It knows the way you speak. It understands. So I kind of like the digital. I like using that term, like it's your digital self. It's not your true self, but it's like a digital version of yourself. and you can train Claude to do that. So I don't know if it's a specific bot, like an admin bot or a content creator bot or anything. I think it's more like a replica of yourself that you're kind
Okay.
of creating, yeah, with Claude.
Okay.
But you
So
can
that would be
upload that data, yeah,
the first step is to create a digital self. And
yeah,
then from there, from all of that information, once it's consolidated and once my digital self has been trained, then I can start farming out the work and
that's
creating
right.
from there.
Yeah, that would be the best way to do it
Yeah.
because it would have the least amount of mistakes. So that's a good way of doing it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I
Awesome.
really appreciate
Love
that.
that question.
Like,
I do know we're up against 7:30. Do you have a
All right,
time for
yeah,
one more, or did you have to
yeah,
run?
sure, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. I have
Okay.
time. I have time.
Michelle, I see your hand up. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I did put my question in the chat, so I just want to make sure I get the chance to hear from him. I heard him say HubSpot AI earlier. What are the major advantages and efficient ways of optimizing it?
I haven't used HubSpot that well, to be honest.
Okay.
But I've heard great things. I know it's a great tool, but to be honest, I haven't used it a whole lot. You may have to do more research on it.
Okay.
You may have to ask an LLM for it, but to be honest, I don't know the tool very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. And I'm just checking through. I think we got everyone's question. There was one earlier that just piggybacked off the LinkedIn. Have you seen agents being able to work with people's YouTube accounts? Like, and I don't know how it might help them with their channel in any way.
Yeah, well, with LinkedIn or YouTube, the agent can see the screen. Like you can almost imagine the agent's like a human being that can read whatever's on the screen. It's
Mhm.
just it can't integrate with that unless you're using a Google agent, then it'll connect with YouTube. Or unless you're using a LinkedIn agent, it can connect with LinkedIn. It's because on purpose everyone's trying to capture just so you guys know behind the scenes everyone is trying to capture as much data as possible, as much like data as possible that they can say is private. So YouTube, all their videos is data. YouTube is like a gold mine of data. Google is way ahead of everybody based on data, and so that's like digital gold or digital oil because right away Google can say, "Hey, you've been making YouTube videos for the past 10 years. Here's an agent that can learn everything from every YouTube video you've ever made or any Google search you've ever done or any Gmail you've ever sent, and you can train it to do stuff for you." Agentforce can't do that. We don't have access to that data. So
Gotcha.
that's just one thing to think about in terms of like the kind of the data silos. But that being said, an agent can read the screen. So if you say, "Hey agent, read every single video based on this YouTube topic, and then come back to me with a report," or "Hey agents, look at every single video on this topic that is going viral or that's trending and tell me all the reasons why that video is trending based on what's happening in the video, you know? So it can just watch every single video. It can watch just like a human being and provide data that way. It can't really integrate with YouTube, but it can do almost like it could be like your eyes.
Gotcha, gotcha. Man, I want to say thank you, thank you. People have already been saying thank you in the chat.
Oh,
Presentation, I feel like we needed it from that grassroots key first principles. So, hey, this is what agents do. This is what it is. And now the challenge has been set. You said our homework is to build our first agent. So I hope some people use the type form and put their information in their topic. They'll get back a mini agent that'll help them source the topic. I'm curious to see that. But I do
yes.
want to encourage everybody to be there on Saturday. The Legacy Symposium is talking about how to build wealth by leveraging AI. And this conversation, we'll make sure to get it up on our YouTube so that you can reference it. And then we're going to check in and see how many people did your homework. Who has an agent? And we should do another follow-up session to see how our agents interact and how they work. So Adrelle, I do want to thank you for taking the time and thank you to everybody else for joining us this evening. And we shall talk to you soon. If anything, we'll see you on Saturday. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next workshop. But thanks again. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.
Oh, our pleasure. Thanks again.